Welcome to State Scoop TV. I'm Jake Williams. I'm here with Tony Young. He's the new CIO for the state of Wyoming. Tony, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Jake. I appreciate it.
Appreciate having you. So we're here at NASCIO Midyear Conference, Crystal City, Virginia, day 2. This is your first NASCIO conference as a CIO.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about your background and really what brought you to this position.
Well, Jake, I've been in state government and federal government and local government actually all my life. That's 35 plus years. And most recently, I served as the Deputy Chief of Staff for the Governor of the state of Wyoming, Governor Matthew Mead. And we were instrumental when we came in office in January of 2011. We tried to do change and some technology enhancement. And so we hired my predecessor, Flint Waters. We hired him, and when he resigned and left, I was so excited about that, and I have a bit of a tech background that I actually asked the governor if he would consider appointing me to the position, and he did, and fortunately the Senate confirmed me this last spring, and that's how I ended up where I'm at.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
New CIO to the department, what does your vision look like for the future of the department, and what are some of your top priorities right off the bat?
Well, there's the standard top priorities. I mean, we've got to protect the network, and so cybersecurity is one of the single biggest issues, and that's what keeps us up for the most part. But in terms of the human capital that's within the agency, we're striving hard as my administrative team to build our customer relationships and to offer customer support and to be very responsive to the needs of those individuals. And to retain our workforce and to keep them going, to have kind of a disruptive a constructive but destructive difference in government employment, to keep them engaged and empowered and strengthened to keep moving, technology forward. So that's, and let's see, what other priorities? We have some legacy applications that we need to really heal. Content and tech at risk is a big issue for us. So my team is all addressing those issues.
Great. And what kind of, I like that you told the story of how you ended up in the position, but what kind of innovative approaches do you hope to bring to the role?
Well, ETS was formed part of legislatively formed as a consolidation and optimization that we championed in the governor's office when I was there, and assigned the prior, Flint Waters as the prior CIO to implement that, and he did a very good job. Now the agency has been formed as a new agency, Enterprise Technology Services. All of the individuals that were in their various IT positions around the state are now consolidated, and so now my innovation and my challenge is to build a team that works instead of just individuals processing and working for one particular agency, teams that have a deep bench that can structure and work all problems across the spectrum of what we see. And I have, I think, a unique and different background coming from the governor's office to see how ETS and IT can affect all of state government across all spectrums, and to help, instead of solving for one, we solve for many. That's the goal, and that's the, vision that I'm trying to implement there.
That's great. So if and when we talk in a year, what do you want your biggest accomplishment to have been?
Well, in 2014, we built and started the Unified Network, which is in Wyoming it's a 100 gigabit fiber network across the state it's not state owned, it was built with our partners. It's a public-private partnership, several partners. And as we migrate all of our schools, all the schools are on that network now, and most of the state agencies. So within a year, I would like to see all of our agencies ultimately on that network. There's a huge savings in costs and efficiencies for us with that. I think in a year, I'd love to see the agency more mature and more centrally. It's been focused internally. Now we need to focus externally on collaborating with all of our partners in and outside of state government, in and outside of all the legislative, the judicial branch, all of that. That's what we're working for, and I think that's what my single biggest goal is.
That's a great future-looking thought there. And I guess last question for you is what are the top challenges that you faced when you walked in the door, and how have you tried to address them so far in the job?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges, aside from cybersecurity and I think that's on everybody's, that's on their top 10 or top 2 list, frankly. But ours is content and tech that sits at risk right now. Legacy applications, old servers and old services. I'm trying to shift that mentality to a cloud first, but cloud isn't the answer to everything. It can be a good answer, but it may not be the best answer for costs. So all of the content, the legacy applications, and the tech that we have, I see it sitting at risk. Old legacy systems, where the agencies, unfortunately, when budgets become tight, they decide to cut. We'll go years longer with the same tech. And then that becomes content at risk. So how are we working to protect that network, to grow the network, to keep it functional for everybody? That's probably my single biggest effort would be to take care of all of the things that are really going to be the gotchas at the end of the day. They're going to be really the tragedies that head those off. And then technology replacement programs, maturing the agency to a better fiscal position so that people understand. I mean, to be misunderstood is horrible, you know. And so to get the agency and the legislature and the executive branches all to understand what we're doing, that's a lift. But we're going to get there. So.
That's great. Well, Tony, I look forward to hearing more about that. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate the time.
I appreciate it. For more about what Tony Young is up to in the great state of Wyoming, check out statescoop.com. Again, I'm Jake Williams, StateScoop's Manager of Strategic Initiatives. This is Tony Young, the CIO for the state of Wyoming. Thanks for watching.